voice loud and filter it through the holy crowd. What would Jesus do today?
Welcome back again. So good morning, church. And we're talking all things noise pollution. We were chatting, of course, with some noise pollution specialists, and now we're going to the church. We have with us, chatting with us, is Pastor Aaron Joseph. Pastor Joseph, how are you?
I'm good.
Such a
Thank
pleasure
you
to
very
have you
much
here
for
with us.
having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. And of course, let's just get right into it. Tell us, you're offering to provide a space for promoters that would have been affected by the noise pollution ban, and that has certainly gotten people's attention. What was the core? We want to know from you, what was the core faith-based conviction that moved you to make this type of offer? Tell us.
Um, Again, thank you so much. My name is Aaron Change Joseph. Some persons call me Pastor Joseph. The change is not actually my biological government name. It's actually a spiritual name given to me. I believe God changed men of God names in the Bible, when they transition from one place to another. So I got the name changed when I actually gave my life to Jesus Christ. So prior to that, I manage and run two of the largest nightclubs in the South Trinidad. I had one of the biggest Juve bands in Point Fortin, Borode. We kept a lot of events. So I was literally a promoter in the world, and seeing what's happening today, I reached out to the promoters of such events, and I told them that I have a space, and I'm here to render whatever help that I can, because what I understand is that some persons, this is a means of income to them, so they not being able to probably, go forward with the event, it could probably, hamper some sort of financial income coming their way. What I did propose is that they change the music and obviously, the attire and some other things that, I threw out to them so that, I could be some sort of help. Now, my proposal is just that I think sometimes it's okay to take a little break from the rum and the wine down, but it's still me providing a means of income that they could probably, through another event and still be able to gain some sort of income around the set time or whatever is the case. So we actually have a new, I call it a tool. Some persons don't see it as ministry, but we call it God vibes only, right? Because we know as the church, when we hear the word secular, we start to demonize certain things, all right? But today, I mean, even this platform that we are, this is a secular platform. Netflix is secular, Facebook is secular. I mean, our jobs are secular, and what we promote is positive vibes. All right. We use positive music. We have seen it win souls. People came to Jesus Christ through using, they said, God vibes only too. So I actually play or work on a quote unquote secular radio station, but we play gospel on the station, which I thank God for, that we could use, things of the world to confound the wise, So we just see ministry at a different level. I'm not saying that we are different from anybody else. What I read in the Bible and the Word of God, the Bible said to go into all the world and preach the gospel, right? And if we are to go into the world, there are a lot of people going into the world, but some are standing at street corners and, casting people to hell. But we use a different approach. We want to go into the world with love. We want to go into the world because even one of the promoters of am I okay to say the event on live?
I guess you could. If they can do it, they'll bleep it out.
Well, one of the promoters actually commented on the video and he said he liked this idea of the said, party promoters that I reached out to, which now let's just say we go forward with this idea and we come up with an event like Pure and Clean. The churches could come together. You could bring out your uncle, your son, those who don't normally come to church, we get them to come out to an event and just share love. So like a love event, one day everybody just come together with love. We don't need the alcohol. We don't need, the regular things that we are accustomed to, but just to share love. Because what I understand is love is a very powerful, influential thing that the churches today is lacking. So by me reaching out to these promoters with love, I got a response,
And you would, because that proposal that you put out there, now it may be jarring to those. How I often see it is persons who came out of the clay tend to know what the clay feels like and could relate to persons in the clay much better than persons who had a little dirt or a little dust on their hands. So you would be the ideal person to be able to make that claim and to make that proposal. And when I first heard it, when it was brought to my attention, I kind of chuckled because I could imagine the kind of talk and the kind of back and forth. I wouldn't say backlash because I am personally really don't care too much about the backlash part because what we observe is that you're providing a space for them to do a different type of event. And if you can make it at the same scale, they can make back the same money and you're impacting the people in a more positive way. So you can actually see it's not about the money, it's about the message because now we have a space. Do you understand? Is that space the same size of the spaces that people will want to use? Or do they have to scale down on a lot of stuff?
Well, obviously, it's not the size that they may be looking for. But you see, what I understand in promotions, right? Well, I could always use my biblical terms. The Bible said, don't despise small beginnings, right? And even if we start up at that space with just, a meeting, I'm seeing where that could grow into something, massive. I mean, imagine at that event, we get our Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and the opposition leader to come and they just shake hands. And the country just got to see one day. Christmas is a time when we see all religions, come together in love. And I think if we get more love events, we could actually change the world. So my proposal was not just that one-time stuff, right? We have a marketing and advertising company. We located all in Africa and across the world. And this event can now be something that we could use as a tool to share love around the world. And this is what I'm saying, that the churches need to become a little more kingdom-minded and influential. Because if we become more influential, then we can go into spaces that we think that we're not accepted. Because there's not a place in Trinidad and Tobago I will not go and be accepted. Because this is where I came from. But the Jesus that I know, the Jesus that I read about, he didn't leave any place undone. But somehow, we just go in constantly in a building every single week. So what about the corners and the crevices that, we're not getting to reach? And I believe that God has called me to reach these corners and crevices, but using wisdom. Because it's not about condemnation. I was once there right where these promoters are. And, God took me from that place. So he's sending me right back there.
Nice.
All right. Well, we need to take a break. When we come back, I have a question for you, Pastor Joseph. All right.
No
so
problem.
when we come back, we will be getting a little bit into some more stuff. We'll be right back.
Sure.
Good morning, church. Start the day the right way. Good morning, church. With God and the church. Good morning, church. Good morning, with God and the church. Headlines buzzing, news is loud. Filter it through the holy crowd.